So here's the deal. I'm going to be talking about a subject matter that I have not talked about in probably, I think that about the time that Donald Trump and Fauci and Pence and that lady, that real nice blonde-haired lady doctor with Fauci, what was her name, Burke or something like that, Burke? About the time that they started announcing that COVID was here in our local area in deep southern Oregon and northern California, they started to close banks down. And at that point, I immediately stopped talking about this subject matter. But I do want to tell you folks, we have people, like I've got a guy, I'll use him as an example, in the Midwest. He has U.S. Bank. And they've even gone so far as to allow him to have sandwich boards for our company that take people to him and his landing page. In the event that they're denied in the lobby as they come in or as they're leaving, he's got 7 U.S. banks with sandwich boards, and they're good sized. They're a little bigger than normal. I would say they're probably about 3 foot wide by about 4.5 to 5 foot tall, double-sided sandwich boards. And all it has on it is, if your business loan's been denied, it's a saying that says something like, then there's no sense in, if your business loan has been denied or something like that, there's no need to be crying or something like that. And call Matt, and then it's got an 800 number that he's got. And he does roughly about 60 loans a month off of those branches. Now, in my prime, I was doing over 800 loans a month, and about 225 of those loans a month just came in automatically. I mean, literally, they came in just automatically. What I had to do was I had to go into those branches typically about once a month. I would network with them, and all I would do is I would just stop by and say hi. So, Micah, Dar, can you press *6, please? You've got some background noise. Do you mind? That'd be great. Dardarian. I really like that name, Dardarian, by the way. Or Dardarian. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. So I know, as an example, Alicia Gilbert, are you there? I see your smiling face. Alicia, are you there?
Hi,
There
Brett.
you are.
I love you. Hi.
How's Beaverton treating you?
It's good. It misses
Right
you.
on. Yeah, there you go. Well, I don't miss it. Trust me.
Oh,
I do miss Portland metropolitan area, but I just don't miss Portland at all. It really is get tiring for me to go up there anymore. I used to love to go with my wife downtown and go, on the bridges and on the Amtrak or the train, the day train down there. But yeah. I would never do that now. Even carrying a handgun, I wouldn't go do that. But anyway, let's not digress. I'm just glad to see that we finally. Yeah, I'm glad to see that you finally are going to get to be part of this. Okay.
Yeah.
And the rest of you, I know there's some of you that have been anxious to hear about bank loan turndowns, but believe me, I think Alicia is the longest running for 2 reasons. One, when she came on board, I don't think I even had sentence structure capability when you came on board, Alicia. I just don't. It was very minimal at best.
I've come a long way. It was just going. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear your voice now.
Good. It is good to hear your voice and the other people. So here's what I'm going to do. Now listen. Anytime a good artist or a great artist has put up something on the wall or in a magazine or a book or elsewhere, and you see their art, it should leave an impression on you if it's something that you really enjoyed, and I've had my share of art over the years that I've looked at and even had oftentimes a surreal moment where it was just like, wow, that artist is, almost talking to me in particular. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and execute this conversation one-sided with me talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, all 121 of you, in a manner in which makes sense so that you could say to yourself, I am going to go give this a try, because I want to tell you something really honestly. Of all the things that I did, the 2 things that I loved the most marketing-wise were the signs that looked like a real estate sign with a wooden post. You've all seen them in a neighborhood, in your local neighborhoods or outside your local neighborhoods. I used to put out in excess of anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 of those signs at a time at major corners, major stop signs throughout the Portland metropolitan area, Beaverton, Hillsborough, Forest Grove, Banks, Murray Hill, and then over onto the west side or east side, I would go to Gresham and to Sandy and to Oregon City and Gladstone and Milwaukee. And so what my boys and I would do is we would hop in my Suburban, and we'd have probably about 50 of those signs, and we would drive around. And when I would see one of my signs down at night, we would go at night, late night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, when there wasn't any traffic. When one of my signs was down, then one of the boys would get out, or I would get out, or all three of us would get out if it was a busy intersection. And we would either A, put the signs back up, or B, put signs up in case someone had taken them down, because someone was always taking my signs down, always. Or if you listen to my 30-minute video about marketing, and if you want that video, I know that the only one that may have that video is you, Alicia. The rest of you, I don't think, have seen my actual marketing video where I go over 7 pieces of marketing. I just made that about 7 months ago. I was still deep into the throes of cancer. My lips are all bloody, but I did this because one night I was hurting so bad I just needed something to do. And actually, to be honest with you, I do get a lot of good feedback. So if you want that audio video, it is a video on YouTube, for marketing specifically, I do talk about these signs. And then my other favorite part of marketing is what I'm going to teach you today. And the reason should be obvious to all of you, but it's probably not. And so I'll tell you why I love those 2 pieces of marketing so much is the phone just rang. And I friggin' love that. I'm sure that all of you would love that too if you're not used to that, where all of a sudden you get a call, you've got a $100,000 loan you're working on, or a $280,000 loan you're working on, or a prospective $530,000 loan, or $1 million loan for that matter. And then what really makes it amazingly fun, unbelievably fun, is when you get 2 of those calls in a day, 3 of those calls in a day, 5, 10, 15, 20 calls in a day. Or what happened to me when I was working with KeyBank, as an example, what happened to me was I got a phone call about 7 or 8 months in to my existence with KeyBank, doing their loans for their division, their branches. And I got a call to go up to corporate to Bellevue. And I put on a seminar, more of a meeting for about 200 loan officers that were at the branch level at KeyBank. And then my business just exploded, which is exactly what is going on with Matt right now, who is someone that had just gotten his business going in the Midwest with U.S. Bank, and then COVID hit. And so, yeah, he was busy during COVID, but it was only about 20 loans a month, 15, 20 loans a month. Now he's back up into that 62, 63, 64 loans a month range. And he's our number one closest person. We had a lady who did really well with this, who has recently passed away, and I would have given anything to have her get on the phone with you guys and gals. And here's why. She was a quadriplegic, and she worked in an Apple Voice environment. And she would not be able to go, I'm going to teach you in a minute how to go into the branches and work with the branches for their bank loan turndowns. But she couldn't do that. And she, believe it or not, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm going to start crying because she's one of my favorite people. But I can tell you all something. She taught me how to be able to do this over the phone. And I used to teach you people over the phone how to do this bank loan turndowns. And it really is simple, okay? So without further ado, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take 3 or 4 or 5 pending questions that some of you may have, and then I'm going to go into bank loan turndowns So I'm not going to take a lot of questions right now, just in case some of you have got to get out of here, because it is a 3-day weekend, and I want to respect that for you folks. Now there's 124 of you on the phone. So are there any questions outside of bank loan turndowns right now that you guys and gals want to go over? Go ahead. Going once?
Brett, I just
brother.
have
Yes,
a question.
Yes. Hi, David.
Do you have a minimum age? Do you have a minimum age?
David, did you get that email, Tad? Did you get that email Tad sent you about 10, 15 minutes ago?
Not yet, I don't think.
Okay. I know that so what they do, when my staff sends you, ladies and gentlemen, an email.
I did.
They send me an email. They CC me to a different email address that you don't have access to. And then that way I know that you got taken care of. So go ahead, David.
Okay. But do you have a minimum age? I have a nephew who I would like to introduce to you and to this.
All right, Stud. You ready?
Just graduated from high school.
You ready?
Yeah.
So anyone want to Google this? Go ahead. I'm going to Google it right now. I always Google when I tell you to Google. So look up a man right now online on Google. DuckDuckGo. Bing, whatever you want. Look up Brady, standard spelling Brady, Frank, standard spelling Frank, DDS. He's a dentist. Okay? And Brady Frank is a very famous gentleman. He was from Ashland. He lived right here by me. Very wealthy gentleman in his 40s. Came across a ton of money. He's a dentist. He's about 45 and he retired. And then what happened was he knew someone in the dental industry that was in trouble financially, and he knew that this is what we did. And he did a loan through us for a little over $800,000 with his friend. And I said, look, I'm going to pay you the commission on this. And he goes, no, you're not. We're friends. And I said, dude, listen to me. This is the way I roll. This is the way my company rolls. So we paid him. And he's never stopped then. Now, this is along the lines of David's question. What is the age? So Brady Frank has 4 children, all under the age of 17. One of them is 8, and the other, the next one closest to him is 11, and then there's a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. They took my class in June, and they're doing well at this. So what I can tell you is that he does not allow them to telemarket outbound. He allows them to take inbound calls, and his wife is home full time, although she does have her own company and works out of the house. So when a company calls in on one of the flyers, they do the black envelopes, then the mother oversees the call without the business owner knowing, just in case there's tomfoolery that goes on. She protects the kids, and I would too if I were her. So that's my youngest people out there. Now, I do have a lot of people. In fact, if you all get a chance someday, I know you'll meet my son Grant. And if you want to Google Grant Martin and look at Google images, I'll do that with you also. In 2011, Grant went to work for me. What happened was he moved out to do some couch hopping right after he graduated from high school in 2011 because our divorce, Julie and my divorce, just literally gutted Grant. Grant was a freshman when we got divorced. And he loves Julie, and he loves me, and he loved our family, and he loved heli skiing and boating and hiking and hunting and fishing. And the moment that he graduated, we got home that night, and he sat down with my wife and I, and he said, I'm leaving. I'm not going to be divided between Dad or Mom. I love you both. My plans are not to go to high school or to college. I want to go into business with Dad. I want to do this. And I said, where are you going to live? And he said, I'm going to Brooklyn, New York. I've got friends out there. He had been skating professionally for some years for Nike and Burton on snowboards at the time. And I said to him, just hold on, stud. I'll go with you. I'll get you a hotel or an apartment in a high rise with a concierge so you're safe. And we'll give you 1 year, Mom and I, and You can get on your feet out there with a 2-bedroom apartment. Let me stay there once in a while. So I got him a place in Manhattan in the theater district. It was high rent. It was $4,800 a month, and he agreed he would pay me half back and pay me out of his commissions. And this is all I did. He was 17 and a half years old, and I said to him, here's what I want you to do. Go down to Kinko's, which back then was very prevalent in downtown Manhattan, right by Times Square. And I said, and have these flyers printed out for bars and restaurants and tattoo shops. And that's what you're going to target market. 2.5, 3 hours later, he was back, and I put him to work. And in the next following 3 days, he had made over $60,000. So he made over $100,000 within a 2-week period, but his problem was he had done a lot of leisure stuff in there, and then he got serious with this. And he rose to be, Grant is not working for our company. Grant is not in charge of that division that you folks are getting the flyers from, because Grant is a slouch. Grant was making $6 million a year plus when I plucked him out of the crowd and said, that's it, stud. You're really good at what you do. And in addition, you're an unbelievable communicator and manager, and I need you. And so I pay Grant a boatload of money to manage that division. So that tells you, David, about the age groups that are out there. Now, what Grant did immediately, David, in 2011 was, next thing you know, his best friend Eric and his best friend Billy were on the same platform. And I mean, these kids were back and forth, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 60, 70 grand a month, and then they would disappear. Grant has my son Grant has a passport book, and he's been to 81 countries. And I mean, we don't know where he's at right now. We never know where Grant's at, but he stays in places for a month, 6 months, a year. And as long as he gets his work done, that's all we care about here at Mom and Pop. So that's a long answer to your short question, David. Thank you.
So thank you. It's enjoyable.
It is what it is. You know me well enough by now. I'm always going to tell a story if I can. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Vince. Got a question about Craigslist.
Yes, brother. Hit me.
So many of the ads are no image provided, and they're a little hard to ferret out. What is your thought about that? I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out, a business for sale with no image.
I had a Vince in this most recent class. I didn't ask your last name, and I don't want to on the group. I don't like doing that. But were you in my most recent class?
No, I was in your class about a month ago.
Okay, so I wouldn't remember that far back, but I've got a high suspicion that I didn't talk to your group about if there's no picture. Does that make sense?
That does, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I could tell you it's probably been about 6 or 7 weeks. I've got a real good memory since someone had that situation and I went over it in class. So here's the thing, okay? Sometimes there's a picture, sometimes there's not a picture. I would say don't treat them any differently for sure, okay? In fact, if you said to me, what do you prefer? I prefer no picture, and here's why. My brain is no different than each one of your brains, and that is that what happens is I was influenced by that picture, okay? And no different than the content and the subject line itself. Because what they do is they put the word retiring in there. They say they're sick in there.
Well, honey? Okay.
Hold on. We can hear you talking to Honey. We can hear you talking to Honey. Mute yourself. We can hear you talking to Honey. Mute yourself, please. Thank you. All right. So what I try to do, Vince, is not let that picture or not let the content or the subject line influence my thinking. What I'm looking for is a business for sale. Boom. I click on it. Boom. I go to the reply button. Boom. I copy it. Boom. I go to my email address. And boom, I send it out. That's one. Now I go right back to Craigslist and I go to the next one I find. Boom, I open it up. Boom, I go to reply. Boom, I go back to I hit copy. Then boom, I go right to my email and I send out number 2. I don't like doing those, Vince. I friggin' hate them. with a passion, and I'm doing them as fast as I can to get the hell out of there so I can go on with my day. Now, there's a really famous guy that is trending right now on Instagram, and I can tell you right now, folks, that the reason that he's trending is because this is a quality human being. And if you want your children, or if you want to be around someone who's quality, his name is Cameron Hanes. And he travels with every once in a while with Joe Rogan. And I don't know that much about Joe Rogan, so I'm not going to push him. And I don't know that much about David Goggins, so I'm not going to push him. But I want to tell each of you something. I am a massive fan because I hunt archery, and I'm going to leave in a little bit and go elk hunting for the weekend with my bow and my new travel trailer. And I can tell you right now, what Cameron Hanes says is this: successful people do the things that unsuccessful people don't want to do. And if you ask me what made me so successful during that 2.5-year period in 2007 to 2009 September in this industry, and for an 8-year window in the mortgage industry and a 3-year window in the stock brokerage industry, I would tell you just what Cameron Hanes says, and that is this: I did the things that nobody wanted to do, and I did them anyway. And 9 out of 10 of the people in the stock brokerage industry, 9 out of 10 people in the mortgage industry, and easily 9 out of 10 people in this industry just don't do those things. That's it. And so, hopefully that's a long answer to your short question about the picture, Vince.
Well, it is. It gives me just a quick segue, because and I've been doing the same thing, but when I see, under the contact name, sometimes a contact name will come up on 4 or 5 of those, but they're in 4 or 5 different locations, and it makes me think I'm dealing with a broker. And so
Now, last night I held a call. You may not have been on that, but I sent a recording out. You might want to listen to that. And I talked specifically about brokers. Now, in my prime, I had almost 60 brokers feeding me businesses that did not want to sell their business, but they were putting it for sale because it was the only asset they had left. And so don't be afraid of those, whatever you do. Those are really good because they're going to want to work with you, and they're going to give you referrals. Robert, mute yourself, please. Thank you.
That certainly opens. Well, it does. It opens up. I don't want to spend any time in doing what you say not to do, and that is trying to qualify these people and read their stories and whatever.
Yeah, God, don't do it, dude. It'll drive you friggin' even more nuts, right?
But it has made the Craigslist a bit more arduous because, gosh, this guy's a broker, and I don't care about don't send me any offers or whatever. I just go through those and figure if they're going to bitch, they'll bitch, and if they don't, they'll ignore it.
What are they going to do, dude? It's not going to be Tom Cruise coming in Minority Report and arrest you and I, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah. Well, that opens up, that even further for me, and I thank you.
Yeah, I got to tell you something, dude. I live in the most interesting world like you do. I give you one, folks. I'm going along. Lately we've been fooling around with those tombstone ads. You guys and gals have been getting them. Some of you like them, some of you don't like them. Where we've got someone that funded a loan, and we tell you the loan amount, how long it took to fund, and what state it is, and what kind of company it is. And we used to do these all the time. I had an agency that did it. My problem was that I paid these guys and gals in a 3-year contract, and I had to let it expire for 7.5 months before I could go in there, or it was a conflict of interest and they could sue me. So finally, we're out of that contract. We're doing them on our own. But you would not believe this. I send this out, or my staff does. We send this out, typically late afternoon, early evening, sometimes evening. And you just, some of you will put a comment in there, great, awesome, thank you so much, thanks for keeping up, these types of things. And then every once in a while I get this, F off, F off. And I'm thinking to myself, who in their right mind is sitting in their chair right now or standing somewhere right now and typing that in? I just can't comprehend that. So if you said to me right now, Vince, what's the worst you ever got from someone on Craigslist, Brett? That's about what I got. I would, and I rarely would get that. What I would get is, please don't send me anything else, something along those lines, or, hey, please stop sending me this type of stuff, or, don't send me anything else, that type of stuff. So it's not as though anyone ever said, hey, by the way, I'm going to hunt you down and kill your firstborn. So anyway, hopefully
I have not had the luxury of a response yet. Just simply because I haven't, and I just figured there's another ad to go to.
It's a trip because last night, those of you that were on the call heard the guy say that he sent out, I think, 10 or 11 and had 2 or 3 calls yesterday. And so it's just the luck of the draw. Well, we had a guy, Larry, that was in an advanced group this morning that sent out, for whatever reason, he sent out 9 and got 9 calls. That's the best I've ever heard. And so, I don't know. I do know this, you guys and gals, and we got to get into this, but listen to me for a second. I've had people write me an email. I swear to God, God is my witness. That has got to be 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000 words long about how Craigslist didn't work. I did this and this and this and that, and black envelope doesn't work. I got all this money on stamps and on these black envelopes, and I went down. I got my flyers made. I even made them double-sided. And then they started about and I did the telemarketing, just like they told me to do the telemarketing. And this person will go through every single solitary piece of marketing that I've suggested, basically to say, hey, I'm quitting. It didn't work. But it's your fault, and it's like, God, you've got to be kidding me. I actually believe, and there's 123 of you on the phone right now, I actually believe that type of person spends more time writing out that email than they ever did collectively, all totaled, marketing. I swear to God, that's how I feel. Okay? So anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you that, Vince, and the rest of you. But
well, no, I just figured that $100,000 loan from all of those efforts compensates me, and so I'm okay.
Yeah, my God, think about it, dude. And the other thing, I've made myself clear once or twice recently, but we love to go off sheet. We'll pay you more. If you're someone doing volume with us, we want to hold on to you. We don't want you taking your files elsewhere. So we're more than willing to go off sheet on commissions. We don't mind whatsoever. You're not going to twist our arm and say, hey, I'm going to do a bunch of volume. You need to pay me in advance. You'd be surprised how many people think they're going to finagle me into that. But anyway, all right, let's take one more and then go ahead.
I have a question.
I'll just simply say when I get there, I'll give you a call.
There you go. No, it really is the other way around, dude. We'll give you a call. Okay, it's the way it works.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, the lady had a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Brett, this is Elsie.
How are you?
Hey, going back
loved your
to the
email
broker.
last night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a great smile, by the way.
Thank you. I hope it comes through the phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the broker, did you have a particular, I'll just say email, something that we could send out to them? Because I like this young man before me, I see a lot of them that may be brokers too. Do you have something in particular that we can say?
So send them what you would send the business owner, and that's going to key them off. Now, one of you hit me with an email just a minute ago, and I want to go over that real quickly. Brett, ... Do you mean that I can actually go up and get business brokers? Yes, you're onto it. So if you don't want to go through Craigslist, you can go directly to those business channels, like buysellbusiness.com. There's tons of them out there. Even I think Zillow has businesses for sale even. So you can just call a business broker. And look, folks, don't make this harder than it is. So Vince, do you mind if I role play with you for a second?
Okay, I'm back off of mute.
Okay, there you are. So Vince, let's say you're a business broker and you're on, buybusiness.com, something like that. And I can see You've got a bunch of businesses for sale and I want to work with you. And so I call you and let's just say you answer. This is Vince with Whaley Real Estate. How can I help you today? Oh, hey, Vince. Brett Martin here with Mom and Pop Business Funding. How are you? Stop.
Doing well.
There you go. Let Vince say something. Listen, Vince, this is a telemarketing call, so I'm going to get off the call real quickly here. What I want to let you know is every once in a while your business owner is not going to want to sell their business. They're going to need money. And I'd love to send you over a flyer a year from now, 5 months from now, whenever. If you come across a client that doesn't want to sell their business and they need working capital really quickly for whatever reason, we go up to $1 million, close these loans in the same day oftentimes. I'd love to send you over a flyer. That's the end of my spiel, Vince. Now, I can tell you all, the reason I didn't have 1,000 brokers, the reason I didn't have 10,000 brokers is because my staff couldn't handle my volume. I ran an executive assistant, Stacy, into the ground, who's no slouch. And then I ran Dennis into the ground and Stacy into the ground. And by the time I got to my 6th executive assistant, it just got to the point where I needed to go out and start to do this full time by training people like yourselves, because people were bringing friends and family onto our platform and no one was training them. Or I'm telling you right now, folks, I would have hundreds, if not 1,000 executive assistants or more. Oh, you mean I do? Sure. There's 123 of you on the phone right now. Each and every one of you in some way, shape, or form are going to get me paid. All you got to do is put a loan out there on my behalf, and I make dough. That's how I make money. I teach people like you to go make money on this platform, and I make money. Now, there's no reason in hell why you can't do that with other people. I could tell you right now, Ashley Aldridge would not be where he's at had Ashley not became a manager. What I did with Ashley was Ashley paid me $7,500 for a team, and I friggin' buried them. 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, 60 people, 70 people. Class after class after class after class after class. I gave Ashley Aldridge 2 more people, 3 more people, 4 more people, 5 more people, 6 more people, 7 more people, 8 more people. At 350 people, I called him. I don't know how long it was down the road. I called him and I said, "How you doing?" He's like, "You're an asshole." And I started laughing. I go, "Can you handle it?" I go, "Ashley, I've been telling you it's time to get an executive assistant. You need to delegate." And so what I did was I taught Ashley how to delegate. And eventually Ashley became my partner at this. So I can tell you right now, Vince, if you want business brokers to shove you business, that is the simplest way to get money and put in your pocket. It's unbelievable. They're coming across businesses that need money every day. And believe me, these business owners do not want to sell. They're selling because they're maxed out on their credit cards. They've borrowed all the equity in their vehicles, plural. They've borrowed all the equity in their home. They're even pawning items now. I got a guy that reached out to me the other day, one of the ISOs in this group, that said to me, "I know you're a hunter. This guy's got a pigeon grade side-by-side shotgun, and he paid over $100,000 for it, and he'll let it go today for $50,000. And this guy and I made a deal on it for way less than that. And I can tell you right now, talking to him, his business is doing over $2 million a month right now. But his bills are exceeding his business. He has more month than he does money. And that's why he needed working capital. And you're going to find this everywhere with these businesses that are for sale. So,
is there a compensation? Business brokers don't work for free. So if you get a business broker that's going to do this, how does that work?
I went over this last night at length, and so I'll be brief with this. The bottom line is this: most of these business brokers since 2007, 2008, 2009 are now working in an environment where they're getting a fee up front from the business owner in advance, because sometimes they're not able to sell the company, but they've done a ton of work for the business owner on their behalf. So they'll charge anywhere from 3 to 7% of the loan amount or the purchase amount, the business sale amount. And then what they'll do is they'll take they get half of that down, and they get the other half when the loan is done or when the business is sold. So most of the time, they don't want a commission because it's a conflict of interest, and they'll actually tell you that. But every once in a while, you'll get someone. I'm convinced they're all double dipping, because pretty much everyone is on a contract with the business owner now, and they're doing it on the side. So if they want something, if you ask me, I did not say this on the call last night to Elsie and the rest of the group, but I can tell you right now, I did not pay more than 1% of the loan amount. I refuse to buy business brokers or anyone else for that matter. I'm not going to do that. So as a courtesy, I was willing to share up to 1%, but I would try, and I was very successful at negotiating just a half of 1%, Vince, and the rest of you. So, all right.
Cool. Thank you.
Let's get into
Brett.
this. Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. I was actually seeing if there's an avenue in which somebody could speak with you privately. I'd actually sent you some correspondence as well as Ashley about a business opportunity that I really
went over that. I went over that throughout the week, this week and last week, every week, that by the time you get to Friday, then once you've graduated, I'm more than willing to have a one-on-one correspondence. But just to let each of you know, like one of you hit me up with this morning and wanted to talk to me about a yacht, and you know, I'm just not into anything else other than just this business. Okay, I mean, how often does someone have a shotgun for sale? It's a $100,000 shotgun. One time since 2007, and I looked at it with the guy and I bought it. But I don't want to look at any business deals. This is what I do, and I do this all day, and I do a real good job of it. And I feel like I would be cheating on my wife or cheating on my staff if I did some other business than this. And quite honestly, there's those of you that are managers on the phone. Think about this for a minute. You paid us money. I'm going to do everything I can to get you to make it. And I just don't involve myself in other things. So, yeah, one-on-one correspondence, just hit me with an email. I'll do my best to try and get a hold of you right away. If not, then I'll reach out to you within a day, 24 hours, and say, hey, this is when I can get a hold of you based on my schedule, or my staff will, one or the other. Go ahead.
Before I go, one last thing. For one, I think I did your class probably, I've been here for about a month and a half now, but the correspondence I sent to you was about maybe 2 weeks ago. And I just haven't received anything back from that. And it's not anything that would divert you from what you're doing. My intent with my expertise specifically is to secure things. That's what I do, is I secure businesses, I secure entities, not necessarily like physical security or something like that. There's just ways to secure entities on paper, and basically it just adds another level of protection to an entity based on the volume that somebody is doing. So I don't want to get too much into it, because in my email I went very deep in what I offered and what I was looking to speak to you on Ashley about.
I was detailed getting back to you, Victor, and so it must be in your spam, it must be in your junk, it must be in your promotions, or it must be in your update. Okay? Now, for Victor and for the rest of you, please understand something, everyone, real quickly. Do not, I'm going to repeat again, do not send me something and wait a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks for me to get back to you. Something's wrong. And it's not wrong on our end. It's wrong on your end. All right? Just as an example right now, Gabe, I'm staring at your email. Mr. Rommel, I'm staring at your email. Margaret, I'm staring at your email. Devin, I'm staring at your email. Joshua, I'm staring at your email. Nancy, I'm staring at your email. Renee, I'm staring at your email. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 full-time emails open. And all I'm doing right now is going back and forth between those, as is my 6 executive assistants. Because at any given time, we can only see 100 emails. And our rule is, do not allow it to get down to 101 before we, A, open it up, B, get it over to Brett if it's something that only Brett can take care of, and that'll go into my private email. And that could be why it came to you in an odd manner, because it came from brettmartin48@gmail.com. And so it very well could be in your spam, your junk, your promotions, or your updates. And probably because you've got that email address that's got that word indigenous in it. And I can tell you right now, our Gmail account and your Gmail account won't like each other. And I was going to talk to you about your email address at that time. And I even put a footnote in there for you and I to go over your email address, because I can tell you that's an email address that will not work on Craigslist very well. It won't.
I remember you speaking about it a few weeks ago. I created a new email, but that
Good.
one I also have been I've been receiving correspondence from you there on
Good.
Indigenous IM. But
Good.
I've also been I've been doing my business to another one, Fast Liquid Capital, and my manager Stacy Stockman felt that was pretty, that was proper. It sounded a lot better.
But that won't work. That won't work on Craigslist, brother. Not at all. If you got the word capital or funding or loan or fast, those won't work on. Now listen, just a second, folks. I know some of you are saying, "What? I use that type of stuff on Craigslist." That's for the Craigslist proactive ad. Okay, the one where you're sending it to people, is your business still for sale? Okay, that'll go right into their spam. Their algorithms and their system will not allow that to penetrate their fortress, and it won't get to the business owner. I guarantee it.
Hey, Brett, one last thing, and I'll shut up because I know I
go for it.
Time. I just sent you another email, but it's not from Indigenous IM or from Fast Liquid Capital. It's from another one of my emails. It's officialwakanda@gmail.com, and that's what I actually sent it from.
I've got it. Yeah, and I know it. I've seen it before. I'm inside now. Now, this is not something that you're using on Craigslist either, though, right? Just to be clear.
No, not at all. Not at all. This is something totally separate entity.
Right on. Yeah, I'll look at this tonight. Sound good?
Yes, sir, and I appreciate it.
I've got that Wingate 360 on my brand new travel trailer. I've got TV. I've got internet. I've got it all. I'm going to be sitting in the woods, itching my ears and doing nothing. So I'll reach out to you tonight, brother. Consider it done.
Thank you, Brett. I really appreciate it, man. Peace and love to you and your family, and please enjoy your weekend, okay?
I will, bud. Trust me. It doesn't matter. Look, man, all I said to my cancer doctor was, get me to elk season, brother. I don't care if I die after that, but get me to elk season. And he guaranteed me I would. And so here we are. I'll tell you guys something, you ladies, especially you ladies, if you've been through breast cancer, you and I, they say that your cancer and my cancer were the two worst. And I can tell you right now, I don't know how we made it. I don't. You people that have been through breast cancer or neck cancer, I don't know how we did it. I don't. It's the grace of God and fine doctors. But anyway, let's do this. Here we go.
Thanks again, Brett.
Yep. These bank loan turndowns, all of you have a flyer. Your third flyer down says bank loan turndowns. Most of you don't even know you have it, okay? Now, you're not going to talk to a manager, so get that out of your head. You're not going to ask permission, so get that out of your head, all right? So let's go outside for a moment, and let's stand outside the bank, all right? Let's say it's a big parking lot. And we're going to go into a Wells Fargo. And it's a big Wells Fargo. Chicago, Miami, Portland, Seattle, Sacramento, Los Angeles. We are at a big Wells Fargo. We've all seen a Wells Fargo bank before. We've all seen one, probably seen the parking lot before. We're outside the parking lot, and what I want you to do is I want you to make it your power period. You need to think about your power period, because I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I have my power period and I have my weak times of the day. And I know better than to go out marketing or to be telemarketing or licking envelopes during my non-time of the day when my energy's low. Okay? That's not a good time to be marketing. It's not a good time to be networking. It's a good time to be meditating, relaxing, eating your lunch, all right? So put yourself in that parking lot. It's 4 o'clock for some of you. It's 9 in the morning for some of you, and the bank is just going to open. That's what I like. Some of you like to go in at 1 o'clock. Some of you like to go in at 5 o'clock. Bank closes at 6, okay? Now, let's give a little rain to those of you that like rain and an umbrella. Let's put your dress on, your pant outfit on. Let's put your shoes on. Let's put your shorts on. Let's put your pants on, whatever you're going to wear inside there. I need you to have clean fingernails. I need you to have clean teeth. I need you to have clean toenails if they're showing. No fungi. Hide the fungus, okay? If you've got teeth missing and you're cognizant of it and you're bothered by it, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They will be bothered by it, okay? So if you have something that you're bothered by and you're cognizant of it, and it's going to create a meek moment for you where you're shy, they're going to know. Trust me. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fake it. You're going to have to conjure up some confidence. Now, this is where I come in. This is where you're going to want to hear about me. Since I was 17 and a half years old in May of 1980, I have suffered from anxiety attacks. I don't know when they're going to come, and I can tell you right now, I have never had an anxiety attack I like ever. They are brutal. They are debilitating, and they literally gut me. And so when I'm with you, Vince, or Robert, or Marianne, or Alicia, or David, or Ed, when I'm with you, if I have an anxiety attack, all I do, I carry a man purse with me. It's about a $400 Versace bag that one of our clients gave me as a gift when we funded the loan. It's got a silk paisley lining with a gold zipper. I reach into it, I pull out my prescription of clonazepam, and I chew one. Doctor's orders, as needed. And then I'm going to tell you to wait about 45 minutes, and I'm going to be just fine. Okay? So, what is my point for bringing this up? Do not put yourself in circumstances or situations where the discomfort is going to be so obvious that the people you're talking to or person you're talking to is going to feel like you're whacked out on meth or an alien of some sort. And believe me, folks, when you watch my body language, to include my eyes, my shoulder movement, my head movement, and so on, I am not someone that appears normal when I'm having a high level of anxiety attack or panic attack, okay? So what I want you to do is get yourself in order before we go in this bank. Now, if that means that you've got to get on the other side of our gigantic SUV that we're all in right now, and we're all going to get out and go inside, and you've got to shake the sillies out, then do so. I literally have had grown men and grown women get on the opposite side of the vehicle that I've rented when I'm in your city and stand there and run in place for a little bit to get their heart rate up, release those endorphins, and get themselves, get that anxiety, the angst out of your body, okay? Now, again, when I first started doing this, back in the hydraulic sales days, going door to door into Halton, Hessel, Case, Coast Crane, all these companies on Columbia Boulevard in Portland, Oregon, hundreds of construction-type companies, heavy construction. I sold hose, couplings, pumps and valves before I went into the stock brokerage industry, and I could tell you all, I would get the dry heaves. Oftentimes, I would actually throw up. I learned not to eat for at least 2 to 3 hours before I had an appointment. I would get the cold sweats. My body would disintegrate. I would actually feel like I was not part of my body. I would bilocate. I would think I was going to go crazy. I would be in sales calls sometimes or on the phone sometimes, and I would just have to hang up, or I would just have to run out because, you know, you can't just describe to people what's going on. No one would believe you. And really, it's hard to put it in words anyway. I'm much better off putting in words at age 61 than I was at 21 or 31 for that matter. And I can tell you all that when I go out with you out on the streets and we do this, this can be very nerve-wracking what we're about to do. But I can tell you right now, ROI, the return on investment is massive. So that's the reason. Even my own children, Travis and Grant, have said to me numerous times over the years, and as they've got more mature, they fully understand that the reason their father, me, put myself through these circumstances and situations so often was because I always felt there was a pot of gold at the other end. And that one day, believe it, folks, I would peel away at the onion so much with personal development that I would get to the core and say, and there it is. I'm okay now. Well, let me tell you something right now, folks. I'm 61. If you would have told me at 17 and a half that it was never going to go away, I might have killed myself. I'm totally serious. I'm not lying to you. If you would have told me that in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s, in my 50s, and now my 60s, I was still going to have anxiety attacks, I probably would have chose to leave the face of the planet. That's how bad they've been. But instead, I've always held that mindset that it's going to get better. Now, has it? Look, I've got 35 years of yoga and meditation. I even am a hatha yoga teacher. And I can tell you right now, Robert, Mr. McDuff, you and I may walk into Tampa, Florida today and into the airport. You know, you pick me up if you live there. He doesn't live. I don't know where Robert lives, but I'm just using his name. And you and I are going to go make some sales calls. And, dude, we might go to an Elmer's or a Sherry's, have some lunch or some breakfast or some dinner and get ready to go make some sales calls. And I may have an anxiety attack. And I can tell you all something. It takes a six-pack of Corona or two really good glasses of Merlot or a clonazepam for me to be able to be what people call normal, okay? So that's what I need you to do right now. I need you to get yourself normal before we go into this bank, okay? Now, last but not least, if you smell like an armpit, go to the store and get some pit spray. You're not riding with me today and the rest of the group, and you're certainly not going in the bank with me. And you ladies that have lathered yourself in perfume, you're not going in with me. And you men that have lathered yourself in cologne, you're not going in with me. Because I can tell you right now, I've had them tell me and have them tell your predecessors over and over and over again that they can't talk to us. They're allergic to the smell, or that smell is making me nauseous. If I heard that again, I'm going to die. I can tell you all, I'm exaggerating a little bit with the I'm going to die, but I hear it all the time. So what I do on my end is I make sure to say to you, look, you stink, and we've got to go get you some pit spray. Or you smell like perfume, and we're going to get you a wash rag or some baby wipes, and we're going to get that off. Or you smell like cologne, you smell like you rolled in it, and we're going to get it off of you because they don't like it, okay? Now, here we go. We're going to go into the bank. What you're going to do is you're going to follow me, single line. You're not going to talk, and you're not going to act like you're lost. You're going to act like you know what you're doing. Because when you get in the bank and you stand in the middle of the bank and you act like you don't know what you're doing, they're going to get you. They're going to come to you. So let me be the one that acts like he doesn't know what he's doing. So in my left hand, I'm going to be holding one flyer, not 25 flyers. Those of you that want to leave 25 flyers behind, trust me. They don't want 25 of your flyers sitting on their desk or sitting in their desk. They're going to throw them away when you leave, okay? So trust me on this. One flyer, bank loan turn down flyer. Here we go. So we're going to walk across the parking lot. Take your umbrella and fold it up if you like the rain. If it's hot out, nice and warm out. You want to remove a jacket, you want to remove something, now's the time. A sweater, whatever, now's the time. Do not get in this bank and start fidgeting. We're on a mission here. Do everything you're going to do outside the bank and be prepared like the old Boy Scout and Girl Scout motto. So I'm going to hold the door open for you. Wait for me. I'm a gentleman. And now we're going to go in this Wells Fargo bank. And then you're going to get in behind me. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk right into the center of the bank in the lobby, and we're going to wait, hands by our side. And we're just going to wait. Now, what's going to happen about 95 to 99% of the time It's going to be a teller, not someone in one of their ivory glass offices, and not someone behind a cubicle because they typically can't see you and I. But it's going to be a teller. They're going to get done with someone at the window, or they're going to be done. They're going to be watching us, and then they're going to make a comment, something along the lines of, "Can I help you?" or "How can I help you?" And I'm going to immediately respond by saying, "We would like to talk to someone about business loans." Now, do not say, "I would like to talk to someone about a business loan." That is a lie. Some of you are going to be tempted to act like you need a business loan or want a business loan, and you're going to fall flat on your face with this. Do not do it. Do not lie to these people. You're going to upset them. So when the teller says to me, "How can I help you?" or "What can I do for you today?" and they're going to kind of say it loud, I'm going to say, "We'd like to talk to someone about business loans." And what they're going to do is they're going to point. "Oh, you need to talk to Brad. He's right over there." Or, "Oh, you need to talk to Tabitha. She's right over there." Or, "Oh, you need to talk to Bill. He's right there in that office." Now, when he or she behind the teller does this, typically Brad is going to hear this, and here's why. Or Emily or whoever, and here's why. There's a law within the FDIC insurance industry that if a banker in an office is not with a client, by law, they have to have the door cracked open. So they're going to hear this, or they're going to hear this behind the cubicle, and they're going to stand up, and they're going to come towards you through the glass office window. You're going to see them coming. They're going to open it up, and what you're going to do is you're going to get in behind me, and we're going to be moving. We are moving now. She gets up from behind the cubicle. She stands. We see her. We're gone. We are moving now. We're not standing there. We are putting distance between us and the teller, and we've got our back to them, and we're going towards the person in the cubicle or in the office. And we're going to meet them with our weak hand. Our weak hand. And we're going to hand them the flyer. We're going to hand them the flyer. Left-handed, right-handed, whichever hand is your weak hand. Now, there's a high likelihood they're going to want you to come into their cubicle or into their office. This is what I say. They're going to want you to come into their lair. They're going to want you to come in. Come on in. Come on into my tiger's den. Okay? This is where I prey on you. All right? And the way this transpires is they don't actually meet you. What they do is they prop their door open, or they stand by their cubicle, and they have a tendency, for whatever reason, not to come out of it. And I think that the primary reason is, and so does the people that call on the banks, we think that what this is that this is their power area, and they don't want to leave their power area. This is where they feel strength. This is where they feel like they are able to put you in a subordinate position environment, okay? So allow them to allow you to be seated. And they're going to. They're going to say, "Hey, nice to meet you," and I'm going to be just quick. "Hi, my name's Brett Martin. This is Tad, and this is Robert." You shake their hand. Shut up. Don't say anything. Just shake their hand. Don't talk. I'm not going to talk. We don't want to have a conversation with them in the lobby. They don't want to have a conversation with us in the lobby. They're going to invite us in, okay? And we're going to go in. Now, they're going to have us sit down. I'm going to sit on the outside. You're going to sit on the inside. Now, I'm going to go to work. You're going to sit down first. He or she's going to go around the desk, and they're going to go to sit down. And the moment their butt hits the chair, I'm off and running. I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to place that flyer on the desk, and I'm going to slide it towards them and close distance down between me and them. And I'm going to say, as I mentioned in the lobby, my name is Brett. I'm with a company, or we, if I'm with you, or with a company called Mom and Pop Business Funding. You can see right here with the logo. And the company we represent specializes in unsecured working capital for businesses that have been turned down by the bank. I slide the flyer forward and I stand up. I am done. You are done. Do not ask a close-ended question. So, do you want to do business with me or not? That's a close-ended question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up. It's an indicator. It indicates we're done. They love that. Why? They hate salespeople. And I'm going to say, it was nice meeting you, Brenda. I'm going to leave you that flyer in the event that you have someone that needs working capital that you guys turn down for a business loan in the future. We would love it if you would give us a call. Our contact information, or Matt's contact information, or Brenda's contact information, or my contact information is on the bottom of that flyer. It was nice meeting you. And I turn and leave. Now, they're going to say something to me, or you, or us. It was nice meeting you. And I'm going to turn over my shoulder, and I'm going to say, it was nice meeting you too. Why are they willing to let me go? Because they don't like salespeople. Okay? We're gone. Do not ask for the phone number. Do not ask for a business card. Do not ask them if you can come back again. Get your butt out of there. Now, when we get out in the parking lot, I'm going to get my day timer out, and we're going to write the date down, 2:32 p.m., West Coast time. (2:32 p.m. West Coast time). And then I'm going to write the date, 9/1/2023. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 7 days from today, Friday, next week, on the 8th, at 2:32 p.m., 7 days from today. I'm going to walk in that bank like clockwork. Not the day prior, not 2 days prior, not the following day, 7 days later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to create a crowd that is subliminally going to become mine. Just like Pavlov's dogs, I'm going to classically condition them. I'm going to walk into the lobby. I'm not going to wait for that person, the teller, to announce for you and I to go talk to them. I'm going to walk right over to his cubicle or to his window, his glass, and I'm going to stand there. And they're going to say, how can I help you? They're not going to say, oh, hi, Brett, how are you? Why? They don't want to remember me. They don't want to remember me. And 99 out of 100 times, they're not going to remember me. Good. We don't want them to yet. Now, when they make eye contact and they invite us into their office or into their cubicle, I'm going to come in and I'm going to sit down. You next to me, you on the inside, me on the outside, and then they're going to sit down or they're going to already be seated and I'm going to start in. I don't know if you remember me or not. This is what I'm going to say. I don't know if you remember me or not, but last week I gave you one of these flowers. I'm going to give you another one today. And in the event that your business owner that you turned down in the future or in the past needs working capital for a business loan, feel free to give me a call. My contact information is on the bottom of that flyer, as you know. And I'm going to stand up and I'm going to leave. I'm going again. You see, I haven't asked permission to talk to a branch manager. It won't work. I've tried it before. So I'm going to go. This time they're going to be a little more cordial. It's amazing how they'll let their guard down on the second visit. This is the reason why men and women, children, end up in predicaments like getting raped. Because we let our guard down too quickly. We are fools, most of us. We are too trusting. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to be too trusting, which is in your favor, in my favor. Every once in a while, they're going to say, stop. Wait, don't leave. I've got someone I want to introduce you to. Now, they're not going to give you a file. They're not going to give you a social security number. How does it look, Brett? Well, here's how it looks. they're going to say, I talked to a guy named Brenda, or I talked to a lady named Brenda, I talked to a guy named Brad 2 days ago, and I mentioned your name, and he wants you to call him. Here's his number. We were not able to do his loan because they don't have their tax returns done. Now, that is rare on your second visit. Your third visit is a whole different story. When does your third visit take place? 14 days after your first visit, 7 days after your second visit. When you come walking in the third time, 3 weeks in a row at 2:32 p.m. or whatever time, 11 a.m. you came in last week and the week before, they're going to know you this time. But they're going to like you. Why? Because you're that guy or you're that gal that gets the hell out of Dodge quickly. And they like that. And they're going to motion you in. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm great. It's good to see you again, Daisy. I don't want to take your time. I just wanted to drop off another flyer. And in the event, like I said last week and the week before, you have anyone that needs working capital that you guys turned down for a business loan, you know by now my contact information's on the bottom of that flyer. It was great to see you again. Turn and walk away. Now, she's going to stop you. He's going to stop you over 50% of the time. And it's going to start right here. You're going to have a relationship. Listen, wait. Do you guys really, they're going to ask you a question. Do you guys really go to $1 million and these are unsecured? Yes, we do. Just answer the question. I don't know what it is, and I've given up trying to figure out what it is. But I'm on these calls with you, and I'll look at you after we leave, and I'm like, I told you to just answer the question. But for some reason, you feel you want to talk. Just answer the question. And you can really close these loans in 1 to 2 days? Yes, we can. And you don't need tax returns? No, we don't. How does my customer get a hold of you? Well, Cecilia, as I mentioned the last 3 weeks, my contact information's on the bottom of that flyer. She can email me. He can phone me. They can text me if you'd like. Great. I'll have him get a hold of you. Or give me a minute. Let's get him on the phone right now. And so that's how it's going to go down. Or I'll have him contact you this evening or later this afternoon. They're going to tell you something. And just thank them and get the hell out of there. Now, let's go back for a moment. If they stop you in the lobby on day one, maybe they come out from behind the desk, out from behind the cubicle, out from behind their office, which is very rare. It's very rare that they come out of their lair. I even want to bring that saying up and put it on a shirt. It's very rare that they come out of their lair. It's very rare that they come out of their lair. We think it's because it's a power position for them. But if they do, then you're just going to hand them the flyer like you're going door to door, and you're just going to say, my name is Brett Martin, or my name is Vincent Whaley. I'm with Mom and Pop Business Funding, the company I represent, not I represent, or I do this, but say the company I represent. It sounds bigger when you talk about the company I represent. Okay, the company I represent specializes in unsecured working capital for businesses that have been turned down by the bank. And in the event you have anyone that needs working capital that you've turned down in the past or in the future, my contact information is on the bottom of that flyer. I just wanted to leave it behind. And you can have them give me a yell in the future if you have anyone that you've turned down. And you leave. That's what you do. Okay? Now, every once in a while, I do have someone that intervenes about now and says, hold on a minute, I want to ask you a question. Okay, go ahead. And you say to me, what if they tell you to get out of there? I have never, ever, not one time ever, and I've made well into the 1,000 calls or more in person with people like yourselves across the nation doing this, and for myself, and I've never had anyone say, get out of here. Just get out of here. It's never happened. I'm not interested. I've never had anyone do that. Ever. I can tell you that my belief is that they're glad I left. But they don't say, it was sure nice meeting you, don't come back. No one's ever done that. That's why I went back a second time. That's why I went back a third time. Now, I can tell you something right now. Once you get to know me, really know me, have done some sales calls with me or done some telemarketing with me, what you're going to realize is that I may be the single most soft sell salesperson you've ever met in your entire life. It may not appear that way to some of you or all of you, but I can tell you right now, I am not a sleep around guy. I've never been successful going to a bar and picking up women, and I've never been successful in business as a business person going door to door and getting a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am type moment where I walk out with business right away from a banker. From a business owner, yes, repeatedly. But from a banker, no. And it probably has to do with the fact that from a self-fulfilling prophecy standpoint, I don't think they're going to do business with me on the first date. And I designed my sales call around that because of it. Because initially what I tried to do is what a lot of you would have tried to do if you haven't tried to do it already, and that is talk to a branch manager. And unfortunately, you're going to have a 50-50 chance there. And I don't like those odds. I want the odds to be more in my favor. So that's why I don't go through a branch manager. All right, so let's go to week 4. Give me a minute. I got to get some moisture. Now, week 4, I'm going to use an open-ended question, okay? Or, I'm sorry, a close-ended question. Week 4. So week 4, 2:32 p.m., Friday, I'm going to go walking in, and I'm going to go right up to her desk, right up to his cubicle, and they're going to invite me in. They're going to know me by now. And they're going to think that I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. Why? It's called classical conditioning. That fast, that quickly, human beings become classically conditioned. I just got done watching this very, 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 very eerie Instagram post from 1972 about a pedophile, and they were interviewing him in the cell. And what he said was, I looked for children who did not have a strong father role model. And he just went right down the list. I looked for children who are isolated, who are on the street, walking down the sidewalk in my local neighborhood, and they're alone a lot. And then what he did was he would classically condition them, give them a cookie, give them some lemonade, invite them in and show them some vacation photos. He might do this on the front lawn or on the porch initially. And slowly over a 2-3 period time, he would condition them. And that's what you're doing with this banker. It's Pavlov's dogs. Look it up. Classically conditioning. So in the 4th week, when I walk up to the window, walk up to the cubicle, they're going to know me. They're going to invite me. Oh, hey, Brett, come on in. How you doing? I'm doing great, Cecilia. Good to see you again. I'm going to have the flyer, but I'm not going to do what I normally do. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to sit down. I'm going to leave the flyer in my lap, and I'm going to cross my right leg over my left knee, which is an indicator that I'm there to stay. Symbolisms mean everything. Mannerisms mean everything. And her brain, his brain, is going to say, that's interesting. He hasn't done this before. That quickly, in just 4 weeks. And what I'm going to do is when everything stops and the energy's in the room, in the I am, I'm going to say, so Patricia, I've stopped by 3 times now. Today's my 4th. And I wanted to ask you a question, if you wouldn't mind. Full stop. Think volleyball. Think badminton. Think ping pong. Full stop. The silence is going to be deadly. Just stop. And she's going to say, or he's going to say, yeah, what can I do for you? Or what's up? What's up? something along those lines. And I'm going to say, well, I just wanted to ask you if you've had anyone that you've turned down in the last 4 weeks, since I've been stopping by, that could have used our services for business loans that have been turned down by you guys. Now, this is a very common period where they're going to bullshit you. They're going to lie to you. I've had it happen repeatedly, and it's going to happen to you repeatedly, because here's what they're going to do. You know, I was thinking about you, and I did. I'll tell you what. Next time I get one, I'll make sure I reach out or have them reach out. How's that sound? That sounds great, Cecilia. Or that sounds great, Brad. And you stand up, and you go around their desk, and you shake their hand and thank them and say, it was good to see you again. And he or she will say, it was good to see you also. And guess what? You're doing business now. Wait a moment, because some of you are dying to say to me, why in the hell didn't you just ask her to give you that information now? Ah, great question. I did. And guess what I found? I found them squirming because they were lying to me. What they're saying to me in their actions and their words is, I haven't thought about you, but now that I know you're going to keep coming like you are, I'll start thinking about you in the future. And I learned that through the School of Hard Knocks because I made them squirm. And it made me squirm. I can tell you all right now, I don't like it when you're uncomfortable at my expense. Okay? Some of you do. And I can tell you right now, you will lose that person as a contact. Let them lie to you, allow them to lie to you, and just plan on going in. Now, you're only going to have to do this 2 or 3 more times after that. And then what will happen is you two will come to a business arrangement like normal networking. And you could say to Cecilia or Vincent or Bob or Brenda or Amanda, so Amanda, I'm not going to come by every week. I don't want to be that type of person. Let's just agree that I can stop by once a month. How's that sound? And between now and then, I'll shoot you an occasional phone call. Because the bottom line is you're starting to give me business now anyway. Does that sound okay? Or do you want me to come by once a week? Some of them may want you to come by once a week. Others won't want you to. Trust me, I've had it happen. So let's open it up. Only one of you is left. There's 127 of you on the phone. Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
Question. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So okay, that was the 4th visit. So after that, do you continue to go each week after that?
You know, by then I've got a feeling about John or a feeling about Brenda or whoever I'm talking to at that bank. And there's just this feeling. And oftentimes they take it from me. They would say to me, hey, Brett, I know you're probably planning on coming by again next Friday, but you don't have to if you don't want to. We're starting to do business now. And you'll hear that from them. Okay? But you're welcome at this point to ask them. I have no problem at that point. And I would do that. That's what I would do. That's what I did. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Brett, for everything on top of just giving this class here. I just wish you the best with everything. And, again, I really do appreciate you being here. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very, very, very welcome. I hope that I helped you. I hope this helps you. I can tell you right now, folks, this is not for the meek. I can tell you right now. I mean, I tell you right now, I'm rusty at this. But I can tell you right now, doing it, I get high. I know that sounds crazy to some of you. I used to play semi-pro baseball. I played baseball and football through college, 2 sports. I was really a good catcher and a great fullback. I would have still be playing, I think, had a drunk not hit me and put me in a wheelchair for a year in 1982. But I can tell you all, this is my sport. And there are very few people I've met in my lifetime that are standing on a basketball court like Michael Jordan saying, give me the ball. I want the ball. There's no time clock. There's no time left on the clock. And that's the type of guy I am. I like having the ball. And it gets my attention. I don't know all of you yet, but I'll get to know you eventually over time, more than likely. And I can tell you, I know there's some of you that like that in the crowd also. Now, those of you that don't, all I can say to you is go get your nose bloody. What is the worst that can happen? Think about it. They're not going to ground you. They're not going to arrest you. They're not going to hang you from a tree. They're not going to pull your fingernails out of you. It's none of that crap. So, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I've never ever had anyone have a horror story where they got on one of the advanced calls and said, "Oh, you're not going to believe what happened to me. They kicked me out." But I will tell you this. We have had people on the advanced calls say, Brett, I just didn't believe in your method, and I tried to talk to the branch manager, and she told me not to come back, or he told me not to come back, or they told me they're not interested. What do I do now? It's like, well, you don't go back to that branch, that's for sure. So, all right, anyone else? Questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, Brett, hey, it's Deanna out in Dana Point.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of wondering when you said
Deanna's got the floor. Go ahead, Deanna.
Thanks, Brett. So I love this, and I am not shy. So
I know that.
How many do you think I should hit a day?
So
I live in a really nice Orange County area.
I had a route of 87 branches of KeyBank in 7 western states, and I was in those branches once every 7 weeks, no matter what. I would
start off.
I mean, here's the thing, okay? I think that if you like chocolate, and I like chocolate, you like chocolate ice cream, and I like vanilla ice cream, and you and I started eating ice cream right now, we're going to get sick of ice cream at some point, right? A pound of ice cream, a gallon, 2 gallons, 5 gallons. At some point, we're going to get sick, physically and emotionally sick. And so what I loved about, I mean, I've got an article here. It's on the website. If you ladies and gentlemen want to see it, every once in a while I'll do that where you get on there and you write a blog post. And I wrote a blog post a while back. It's recent. It's been like in the last 6 months about how I'm inconsistently consistent. And so to answer her question, I could say to all of you, the reason I like to do 10 black envelopes in the morning in my prime, and the reason I would like to quit, I would quit doing that, and then I would turn and do 100 Craigslist, and then I get, shower, shave, get out the door, and go do parking garages, is I've got to have the variety. Now, some of you don't want variety. You hate variety. For me, I had to have variety when I was doing marketing full time. I had to, or I would have went insane. So my recommendation is do it to the point where you're uncomfortable, and then do it a little more. You with me? And then stop. And then stop. So if it's 3 banks, that's your goal, and you get those right out of the way and you feel great, God, end on a high note. You with me? End on a high note. If you're going to make telemarketing calls, you make 3, you land 1, end on a high note. Stop. Go have a beer. Have a glass of wine. Have a bong hit. Have an apple juice. Go to yoga. Do something special for yourself is my point. Have a chocolate bar. Get yourself classically conditioned so that Brett wants to do it again. Deanna wants to do it again. Vince wants to do it again. Robert, Alicia wants to do it again. Don't leave your tongue hanging on the sidewalk without any moisture because you made 971 phone calls today telemarketing. My God, people, come on. Okay? So that's my point. How's that sound?
All right. Sounds good. Thanks,
okay. The gentleman. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
A different question about when.
Yeah.
I have a question about when you're sending emails to the businesses, are you sticking a flyer in, and what are you putting in the body of the email, as far as, or if are you putting anything in the body of the email?
Okay, well, are we talking about stuff in flyers and black envelopes, or are we talking about emails?
you're contacting businesses that are for sale, and you're sending them an email and probably sticking a flyer in the black envelope.
No way, man. I went over that in Craigslist. No way. Listen to Craigslist again. You can't send them an attachment. It won't go through. You can't even have a signature in your signature pre-built with a logo in there. That'll go in their spam, junk promotions, and updates. They won't get it. You're going to send the email I sent you that says, "Is your business still for sale?" Yeah? That's why I held that class. That's what you're going to send.
Yeah, I remember that. But
that's
you don't
it.
send.
That's
You don't
all you're
send.
going to send them.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, brother. That will go under the radar, and that'll go into their email. A flyer won't. That's junk mail, spam, and their filters are real tight on Craigslist, and it's not going to get to them.
I have one more question. I have a meeting with the Rotary Club on Tuesday afternoon. I've never been to a Rotary meeting. I'm just kind of wondering what goes on there as far as like business.
You know, I am reminded of one of my favorite Seinfelds. Anyone in the room a Seinfeld fan?
I am.
Awesome. So remember when Jerry looked at George? Jerry looks at George and he says, "You think there's fleas at the flea market, don't you?" Remember that one? You don't know what goes on at a flea market, do you, Biff? And he keeps going on. It's the whole episode about, you have no idea what goes on at a flea market, do you, Biff? And George finally admits he has no idea what goes on in the flea market. Anyway, I'm just trying to be funny. I want to tell you what goes on. What goes on is they're there to get your business, and you're there to get their business. You're never going to meet a greater group of vampires than the people at a Chamber of Commerce meeting and a Rotary meeting. Now, I can tell you something. You're going to be the sexiest one in the room. It's almost going to be like you're up on a pole and you're nude and you're in a topless bar. I swear to God. Because what are they selling? You have a banker there that is offering free checking. You have a printer there that's offering printing. La-di-da-di-da. You have a landscaper there that's trying to get more corporate landscaping business for his company. La-di-da-di-da. Right? The list goes on and on. You've got a bakery company there who's handing out free pretzels today and trying to get business for their bakery. The list. You got someone who's a wedding planner who's there. The list goes on. And then you get the microphone. Hi, my name's Brett Martin. The company I represent provides money to businesses like yours in 24 to 48 hours or less. This money's unsecured. We don't need tax returns in most cases. And it's unsecured, and we go up to $1 million. If for some reason you need working capital for your business, meet with me after the meeting. Hand the next person the microphone and watch what happens. I can tell you this right now, dude. Everywhere I go, everywhere you go, you're going to be like a Pied Piper, and they're going to follow you like a mother duck, and there's going to be babies behind you. Get ready. So you're going to have to be ready. You're going to need about 25 applications, and you're going to need a peachy, a folder, something to hold it in, and you're going to have to be wise. You're going to have to be wise because you're going to be there for hours, and then they're going to kick you out, and you're going to be out in the parking lot. I've been there before, so you're going to have to be wise. What you're going to do is you're going to say to Jennifer, to Bob, to Bill, to whatever, here's my flyer. Give me a yell. The contact information's on the bottom. Because you're going to have a line of 3 people, a line of 6 people, 9 people, 11 people, 14 people. Okay? Just give them a flyer. Do not answer questions because it won't end. It won't end. I'm not kidding you. It won't end. And then what you're going to do is you're going to be in a scenario where you're going to get asked a question you don't know the answer to. And there's not a one of you in the crowd that's going to want to say to them, you know what, Bob, or you know what, Brenda, that's a great question, or you know what, that's a great question. I don't get asked that very often. Let me get hold of my management team and get back to you. Or, you know what, that's a great question. I'm brand new at this. Let me get hold of my management team and get back to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to feel like you never want to go again because you're getting asked questions you don't know the answers to. So don't answer questions. How do you get around that? You're just going to say, Brad, listen to me. I don't have time for questions. Give me a yell later today. Give me a yell later today via the phone or via email, and I'll talk to you then. I need to get going. Okay? That's going to buy you time. Time's important, especially if you feel like you're going to get exposed and get asked something you don't know the answer to, because you're not going to want to mention that in public when there's 9 people in line. Okay? So you stand tall. You be brave. You put a force field around. Brenda, again, I can't do this right now because the moment I allow you to start asking me questions, other people are going to be asking me questions. So let's just talk later on the phone or via email. Here's my flyer. And you've got your flyers. Do not make up business cards. Hand them the flyer. Why? Because for some reason they hold on to these flyers. They don't hold on to business cards. Or I would be making business cards for all of you. Trust me. I need to tell all of you something that you probably already know. Years ago, we all had a Rolodex, or we all had business cards with rubber bands around them. We don't anymore. So, trust me, you're going to get a phone call. You're going to get an email, and it's going to go something like this. Hi, my name is Brad. Hi, my name is Bruce. Hi, my name is Brenda, whatever. And 8.5 months ago, you sent me a flyer in the mail. And you're going to talk about it in your advanced class. Brett, you're right. I know I'm right. This happens every day. They will not hold on to a business card template or business card. That's why we don't make you a template for business cards. But they will hold on to these flyer templates or flyers. That's why we make you a flyer template. All right, next question. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, I have a question and a comment.
Hold on. The one that said, I got a question you brought up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brett, it's Dan again. The question you brought up regarding the team, I didn't get a chance to get on that call. Are you saying if you obviously invest into it, you create a team and bring me people, or I have to bring both to the table and you can bring me people?
Yeah, we'll build you a team. There's a cost for that, but you're already on a team. It's too late now.
Okay, got it. I can't go into it later?
Yeah. We graduated you yesterday, didn't we? Did Ashley graduate you yesterday? Last week. That's right. Yeah. No, you're on a team. Yeah, you're on a team.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. All right, next, the other lady had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Elsa again. I actually went into a bank yesterday, asked them because I had business.
I know.
But
I emailed you. That was fun.
I did give them a flyer. I was a little off on listening to you. I went in, I conducted my business, and what I did was I asked the lady there who was in charge of business loans, and she said, well, really, we all are. I said, okay, and I handed her a flyer, and she looked at it, she said, oh, okay. I said, could I get one of your business cards? And she brought it back to her. Now, what I did do, and I probably did a lot of things wrong, but I made an attempt. I gave her a second flyer I said, well, you have other people, if you could give that to them. And she said, fine. So I know I may just listen to you. I know I made some mistakes.
No. I think you did 100% perfect job, A+. The only thing I would tell you is this. When you leave a second flyer, I'm going to ask your permission. So I'm going to say to you, Elsie, listen to me real quickly. You ready? And I'm going to have Elsie say to me as a loan officer, yeah, I'm ready. And believe me, folks, silence is deadly. So I just shut up. And Elsie would say, yeah. I said, Elsie, I'm going to give you another flyer, but I want to let you know something. If it's going to go in that round can over there under your desk, I pay 19 cents for that, or I paid 49 cents for that, and you'll be throwing my money away. So I'd rather not give it to you if you're going to throw it away. See, what I want Elsie to do, what I want Bruce to do, is I want them to think twice before they throw my flyer away, which, by the way, is all part of my classical conditioning that I'm doing with them. You with me, everyone?
Yes.
So I want them to feel guilty if they're going to throw my stuff away. And so I'm going to preface it by saying, are you going to throw my stuff away? Because if you are, I'm not leaving you multiple flyers. Okay? So that's how I handle that. Other than that, I think you did an amazing job. I can tell you, what you found, Elsie, is exactly what I found. They're not kicking you out. And the reason is no one is stopping by. I don't go in and see my banker, folks. I never do, unless I need them. And then I hump their leg, right? No different than you. You want a loan. You need a new ATM card. They're your best friend for a New York minute, and you take your Texas time doing it. But then you're out of their lives. You're gone. That's the way we are. We're vampirish that way, okay? So they're lonely. It is lonely. My ex-wife, she worked at Key Bank for years, and then she worked at Wells Fargo. She said it was one of the most lonely jobs she ever had in her life. It's just lonely. No one calls you. It's very boring. That's why they don't make a ton of money. So it's nice for someone like Elsie. I got to be honest with you, Elsie. Looking at your profile photo, if you stop by, you look like such a sweet person. I'd invite you for tea and crumpets anytime. Go ahead and sit down and have a break. Honest to God.
Thank you.
And that's the way everyone is. Yeah, I mean, we're all that way. Be kind to them, and they'll be kind to you. But I can tell you right now, if you're going to go in there and you're going to ask them a bunch of close-ended questions, you're dead. You're dead. They don't like salespeople. So just do your best. What you're really doing, if you think about it, is you're helping them. You're helping them because now what they're able to do is they're able to call, and the phone's ringing, ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. And the whole time they're thinking to themselves, oh, God, I've got to tell Mr. Martin I'm denying him about his loan. Or I've got to tell Elsie I'm going to deny her about her loan. She's such a nice lady. Elsie answers the phone. Hi, this is Elsie with Elsie's Burgers. How can I help you today? Elsie, this is Brad with Wells Fargo, and I've got some bad news. I didn't really want to call you, but I have to. Underwriting makes me call you, but we're not going to be able to do your loan. Now, that's not how it goes. Let me tell you how it really goes. It's Friday afternoon. They get the denial from the underwriting department. And guess what they do? Does anyone know?
Wait till Monday.
Yeah, that's right. Who said that?
Elsie.
There you go, Elsie. They don't want to ruin their weekend, and they don't want to ruin their own weekend, for God's sakes. Why? Because it makes their stomach chakra and their throat chakra lock up, and they get all worked up, so they go home for the weekend. Now, come Monday, Elsie, they arrive, and the last thing they're going to do is call you right away, right? Sure.
Right.
They don't want to start their Monday off that way, and they certainly don't want to call their client and have their client bitch them out or be angry or disappointed with them. So they're going to wait till after lunch. Well, guess what? That call doesn't take place. This is what I did when I told you that I met with the corporate division of Key Bank up in Bellevue. I said they all got seated, and then I role-played with them, and I said, show of hands. How often do you call the business owner, all of you, immediately when you get the denial? And they were all looking at the management team off to the side. I go ahead, be honest. Don't look at your manager. How often do you call the business owner immediately when you get a denial from the underwriting department? Not one hand went up. I said, now listen to me. Hold on a second. Because the moment you let this go any further, it's going to start to affect your health. And then I looked over at the management team and I said, you're all guilty. Every one of you managers should put time restraints on the denial so that it's mandatory within 1 hour, start to finish, from the time that the bad news goes to from underwriting to the loan officer or out on the floor to call the business owner, they have 1 hour. If not, there's some sort of a demerit program. Then that way, A, the customer doesn't get drugged through the weekend thinking that the loan is still alive. B, the loan officer gets it off her or his chest so they don't end up with cancer or some other illness, digestive issues. You women, you men that have digestive issues, carry stuff around, and you're not able to have a bowel movement. You got to have an enema, and you wonder why. These are the reasons why. Because we carry this stuff around. And then it mounts up. We've got 2 denials, 3 denials, 4 denials, 5 denials, 11 denials. And we've got to make those phone calls. Those are never fun. Then guess what happens, Elsie and the rest of you, to that banker? You come along. You, the business owner. You come walking in, and they're like, oh, my God, she's here. Or, oh, my God, he's here. And I've got this bad news. I got it 2 days ago, and I didn't call them. And here they come, right? And don't you look like a fool, especially if they say to you, I want to see the email underwriting sent. You've been sitting on it for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. So really, you're doing them a service. And you can actually add that to your repertoire in that third, fourth visit. You could say to them, this is going to be beneficial for you because when you turn that business down, you can actually say, hey, I've got some bad news, but I've got some good news also. We're not going to be able to do your loan here at Wells Fargo, but I have someone that might be able to, and her name is Elsie, and she gave me her flyer the other day. And if you want to give her yell, she gave me her email address and her name. Now, that's what I call a prestige recommendation, Elsie, and trust me, they're not going to shop around. But I will tell you what they're going to do, Elsie. You ready? And the rest of you? Mm-hmm. They're going to throw the banker and Wells Fargo or whatever bank it is that turned them down under the bus. And you're going to have to be ready for that because the last thing you can do is join forces with them and say, yeah, I know that Wells Fargo sucks. Not good, folks, because they're going to tell their banker that you told them that the bank sucks for not approving them and that should have approved them. Then your refund is going to go away. And I've had that happen with hundreds of ISOs. Hundreds. And one of you is going to tell the story in the coming months. Trust me. Once you get mature enough, you're going to think of it as something that's kind of funny, and you're going to bring it up in group form at a later date. And you're going to reaffirm what I'm talking about right now. So let's get out of here, folks. It's time. Well, let's take one more question.
I had one more thing to add to that.
Go ahead.
I don't often get out. So is there any way that you can explain to us how we may be able to do the same thing by phone or whatever?
You get on the phone on Monday morning, and I'll go over this Monday morning. You ask that question, okay?
Okay.
Hop on my
Monday's a holiday.
I'll be training. I'll be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's put the gentleman at. The gentleman was talking over the top of you. Go ahead, sir.
Brett.
Yeah.
I'm filling out my Rotary Club joining application right now, and it comes to profession. What do we call ourselves? We're loan officers, we're not, or what?
Yeah, you're welcome to. Absolutely. Call yourself a loan officer. Yeah.
Well, what do you say, or what would other people say?
People have ISO partner, people have loan officer, people have loan broker. We leave it up to you, however you want it, whatever you want to do.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you. Anyone else before we get out of here? Go ahead. Yeah.
So I have a question. I had somebody ask me today, what are the APR rates? Not sure if you mentioned it in one of the classes that the underwriting department will get back to them about that.
Thousands of times. I've mentioned this thousands of times in the last couple of weeks. In your class, I mentioned it 10, 15 times. You ready?
Yep.
Ask me. Like I'm a loan officer and you're the client. Go ahead and ask me the question.
What are your APR rates?
I've never had anyone ask me that. They ask me the interest rates, but okay, I'll answer your question.
Okay.
If you've done a great job of running your business and a great job of running your personal life, you'll get a low APR. If you've done a poor job of running your business life and a poor job of running your personal life, you're going to get a high APR, but you're going to get a loan offer all the same. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Yep. See, that way you don't have to answer any more questions after you answered their question. You with me?
Okay. Yes.
Yep. All right. Anyone else? Go ahead.
I have another question.
Yeah.
And they also asked, what makes us stand out compared to the banks? Why wouldn't they go to a bank, and why would they come to us?
Hey, brother, what's your first name?
Sergio.
Sergio?
Yes.
Sergio, next time someone asks you that, look them straight in the face or stay on the phone, say to them, When was the last time your banker called you for a loan?
Oh, nice.
Never. Yeah. Bankers don't call business owners and say, how would you like a loan? They never do. So ask them that question. What sets me aside? The fact I'm talking to you. How long has it been since your bank called you and said, how'd you like to do a loan? Probably never. But what really sets us aside, if you don't want to sound facetious or like a smart ass, what really sets us aside is the fact that we do this in 1 to 2 days or less. And banks take 30 to 90 days. So we don't take tax returns in most cases. That sets us aside. We rarely, if ever, pull a credit report. That sets us aside. I mean, if you want to make a list, but I got to tell you something. If I was going to have you make a list and sell the list of benefits, I would have already done that. Dude, you will never be successful at this, selling them a list of benefits. If you think that's the route you're going to take, you better go find another career somewhere. It won't work. It won't. Trust me, it will not work. So if you want to talk more about this in one of my calls next week, I'm more than willing to elongate and elaborate on what we're talking about right here. Because you need to be real careful trying to tell people what the benefits are for working with us. If they don't understand the benefit by you saying the money's unsecured, we go up to $1 million, and we close these loans in 1 to 2 days, oftentimes the same day as the application. If they don't understand the benefits by then, they're never going to understand the benefits. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you make sure you're talking about those benefits right out the gate, and then don't say anything. Yeah. All right. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Real quick. Hey, it's Alicia. Monday's a holiday, and you said jump on the call on Monday.
Yep,
so are you having a call Monday, or did you mean Tuesday?
I'll be here Monday. Absolutely.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. Go get them, everyone. Be safe this weekend. Be good people. Try to be a good person. America needs more good people. Right now, more than ever, we need good men and good women out there. If you're toxic, zip your lip. Your 15 minutes are up. Okay? We need people that are positive out there at the helm. People that are upbeat. So if you get a chance, get to a child. Try to be an influence in their lives from a positive manner. If you've got neighbors that are weirdos, have a watchful eye and make sure they're not fooling around with the children. It's time we start protecting our children in this country, please. I know a lot of us don't have any volunteer time because we're worried about money. But again, if you get a chance, get to a child, spend a little time with that child. Now more than ever, these children are confused. Has a lot to do with the fact that their mommy, their dad, their aunt, their uncle, their grandma, their grandpa, their aunt, their uncle, their teachers, their rabbi, their priest, their minister, their pastor, the Boy Scout leader, the Girl Scout leader is pumping their head full of crap. And that's where we come in. We're calm, cool, and collected, and we're kind. So try to be nice to a child, I beg you, if you can't be nice to the adults. We'll see you on the other side as soon as Monday, all of you. Bye-bye now. Go get them. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.
Respect to you, Brett. Appreciate everything.
Take care, brother. Yeah, take care.
You
Have
do
a
the
great
same.
day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peace
Good
and
night.
love, everyone.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Have a great weekend, all of you. Bye-bye now. Go get them.
Shoot an elk.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you much. Bye-bye now. Go get them, everyone. Yep, bye-bye.